Hiya, welcome to LSB Feasters radio channel, where we keep great radio from the past alive. Today, we're going to Milwaukee for something kind of special. It's a podcast of Bob Barry's Unearthed interviews. It comes from the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association, and they allowed me to be able to put this here to share with you. Bob Barry, if you don't know him, is a legendary radio personality. Barry enjoyed over 30 years on the air in Milwaukee, working at WRIT, WEMP, WISN, and WZTR. But he is best known for his days at 92 WOKY. That's where he made his mark. During the mid-60s, when the Beatles dominated rock and roll and were the dominating force in music, he was the DJ in Milwaukee who became known as Beatle Bob. He even got to introduce the Beatles on stage in Milwaukee. He became very popular, did lots of phone calls and interviews, was known for that, and that's what this podcast normally features. But for the 200th episode, they decided to feature a Bob Barry Aircheck. So we're sharing it with you today, and you'll also hear his legendary news guy, David Haynes. A big thank you to the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and my friend Kipper McGee, who made this all come together. So feel free, kick back. If you've never heard Bob Barry, this is a treat from his days and mornings on 92 WOKY.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association is proud to present a special 200th edition of Bob Barry's Unearthed podcast. This is Bill Shannon, your friendly announcer, saying happy 200th, Bob. And to get us ready, we've asked a very charming lady to fill us in on today's podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, direct from Milwaukee's South Side, where the streetcar bends the corner around ski, it's our very own Lady of Charm, Fern Quimby Melrose.
Hello there. Thank you, Bill. And hello out there in Unearthed Podcast Land. I used to say Radio Land, but it's Unearthed Podcast Land now. It's kind of like radio, but just for one person at a time, and you can't sneak and say things because they have a record of it all. We're going to go back to when they took a record one day. They recorded off the radio Bob Barry and David Haynes way back in the fall of 1972. 51 years collecting dust like the rest of us. We're here in the Charm Kitchen, and we're about to go back to the Wayback Machine and dial in 1972 so you could understand why I called him Mr. Showbiz. Because anytime there was showbiz going on, Mr. Showbiz was there with his tape recorder, or later on in the 70s, it was Bob Barry Calls the World. And it cost you then on the phone, you know, not like now. If you called Paris or London or Conomowoc or someplace, it was on your phone bill, and the manager of OKY would have like $1,000 a month phone bills. Beatle Bob, Mr. Showbiz, was the biggest thing not only in Milwaukee, but 1975, Billboard magazine voted Bob Barry the top 40 disc jockey in the country. He was big. I want you to understand that so you can appreciate that we are going back in the Wayback Machine to a time when sometimes half of all the radios in Milwaukee would be tuned to Bob Barry in the morning.
Bob Barry.
In 51 years, a lot of things have changed, but we can appreciate exactly why Milwaukee was called Fun-Loving WOKY. So let me get back here in the Charm Kitchen and turn the dial on. Flashback, flashback, flashback. We're turning the Wayback Machine 51 years back to Fun-Loving WOKY.
The Fun Lover, WOKY, 1992.
It's 6 a.m. on WOKY, Milwaukee. Bob Barry plays the hits.
Sweet, 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 sweet city woman. The Fun Lover, WOKY.
You know I love you.
the Ides of March at vehicle at 6:04 to Mighty 92. Good morning.
This is Columbus saying that you listen to Bob Berry on WOKY.
WOKY, then the Rat. That's Michael Jackson at 6 minutes after 6 o'clock. Good morning. We have light rain in the area, 61 degrees. Good news, though, for you basement watchers. The flash flood has been canceled. Some light rain or drizzle today. Otherwise cloudy. Highs in the 60s. I haven't seen my basement for about 3 weeks now.
WOKY, good morning.
6:08 at the Mighty 92. Have a nice day, huh? 61 degrees now in Milwaukee.
WOKY, Mighty 92 remembers.
I try every trick in the
WOKY and Luke Christie. I'm going to make you mine. 11 minutes after 6 o'clock. 6:11. Light rain in the area. It's another beautiful day in Milwaukee, huh? Yeah.
WOKY,
Morning.
Mighty 92.
I'll tell you what, a weird thing happened to me on the way to work this morning in just a minute.
Riding on the city of New Orleans. I'll be gone 500 miles when the day is done.
WOKY in Arlo Guthrie, the city of New Orleans. It's 17 minutes after 6. 6:17, 61 degrees, and we'll have all the weather for you in just a minute. A motel for horses opened up in Arizona. We'll call them, and we'll also call an Arizona man who was hit by a car while he was taking a bath.
Winchester's here.
WOKY.
Tell you what happened to me on the way to work in just a minute. But first of all, on the way to work, it was raining again. David?
Sure did. I came to work in the height of that early morning rain this morning. When it was really coming down, you could hardly see. But at least the worst is over. The flash flood watch for southern Wisconsin canceled. All the heavy thunder boomies have moved out east over Lake Michigan. And now just some light rain showers. Right now, Milwaukee, temperature 61 degrees. I'm David Haynes. WOKY News at 6:21.
I was driving along this morning, on the way to work, and I stopped at a stoplight, and a guy came over, like they often do, tapped on the window. I rolled the window down. He said, listen, can you tell me how to get to Brown Deer Park? And, I said, as you usually do, it's, let me see now. I said, no, I really don't. Well, he said, you go 5 blocks to Sherman Boulevard, turn left, and...
Oh, I'm sick already.
The Fun Lover. WOKY, Mighty 92.
You can even eat the dishes. Candyman, a Candyman.
WOKY, Sammy Davis Jr., the Candyman, at 25 minutes after 6 o'clock. Besides calling the motel for horses, and also a guy who was hit by a car while taking a bath, and Joe Whitburn, our music expert, and the psychic Clifford Rice, we will try to get to Eve this morning. Now, you've probably never heard of Eve before. Her real name is Evelyn Carter, and she's come out with a calendar that we talked about in yesterday's episode, and it's called Eve's 12. It's a 1973 calendar for women, and it has all, pardon expression, nude men on the calendar.
Those nude pictures, do they show just the bare facts?
For the days of Adam, Hoss, and Little Joe, more than ever.
I say good morning to my friend Chris at the Seven Seas. He mixes as a new drink there that he mixes. It's he uses vodka and Vitalis. He says you get loaded, but you still stay well-groomed.
Berry, the sunny CJ. Smoke the job back down the train.
Notice we use that real early in the morning, Chris. 27 after 6, WOKY, 61 degrees, Barry in the morning. Good morning.
I believe in music.
WOKY, the gallery. I believe in music. 6:30 at Milwaukee's information station, WOKY.
Bob Berry, WOKY, Mighty 92.
29 minutes before 7, 61 degrees, light rain in the area. The flash flood watch has been canceled. You didn't even know it was on, huh? Some light rain or drizzle today, otherwise cloudy, highs in the 60s.
Since I met you, I feel so good.
WOKY.
Diamond and Cracklin' Rosie at 24 minutes before 7 o'clock. This morning, a call an Arizona man who was hit by a car while taking a bath, and a motel for horses just opened up. Also, Joel Whitburn will be on the program, our music expert. Also, I'm going to try Jersey Joe Walcott this morning. Didn't get time to get to him yesterday. He made an unbelievable statement I would like to talk to him about. And also, Eve. I'll tell you more about Eve later.
United Airlines.
WOKY.
You know how many horsepower your car has?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. I didn't know, so I lifted up the hood and counted the plugs, but now I know.
Oh.
22 minutes before 7.
Good morning. Everybody plays the fool sometimes.
And I would like to call Evelyn Carter in Michigan. And her number is 313-559-6.
Lord Jim, where you will find Wisconsin's most electrifying collection of sport coats.
Okay, we're not getting any answer, huh?
No, sir.
17 minutes before 7 o'clock. This woman came out with a calendar of nude men in living color.
Oh, you're kidding. That sounds fabulous.
Oh, did you say it sounds fantastic? Is that what you said, operator?
I said it sounds fabulous.
Fabulous. You'd like that, huh? Well, darn. Okay, that's an interesting reaction. Here at the office yesterday, I showed it to one of the girls in the office, the boss's secretary, and she said, oh, it's terrible. And then she took it downstairs and showed it to everybody.
I think it would be great.
I think it would be interesting. It's done in good taste.
Right.
And it's funny. It's kind of funny, too. Well, I guess we'll have to try her later then, huh?
Okay, Mr. Berry.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
I didn't tell her what my name was. How does she go?
The Fun Lover. WOKY 9092.
I got a brand new pair of roller skates. You got a brand new key.
WOKY Melody in a brand new key at 13 minutes before 7 o'clock. The Mighty 92, light rain in the area, 61 degrees. You said I made fun of whom?
Well, you were making fun of the secretary that, had the calendar and then took it down and showed all the other girls there.
The boss's secretary, yeah.
Well, you men do the same thing with the girly calendars.
Well, sure, but I don't think we say, well, that's terrible.
On,
and then,
so.
No, we don't say it's terrible. We say, hey, that's
you
kinda
go
neat.
gaga over them.
Well, that's right.
Well, now you men turn around and read all these girly magazines and things, then hide them from your wives.
Oh?
Yeah, I found a few in my husband's drawers.
Found them where?
WOKY 9092.
When I saw you standing, baby, I love you to want me.
WOKY, Lobo, I love you to want me. It's 8 minutes before 7 o'clock, the Mighty 92. Barry in the morning at your information station.
I don't think you got the secretary right at all either.
No?
No, I don't think you heard half. She probably said, oh, that's terribly nice.
5 minutes before 7 o'clock on WOKY. Total Information News brought to you by Pennzoil. Good morning. I am David Haynes. From the overnight Crookbook. The sinister hand of crime took a swipe at Milwaukee's northwest side last night. A couple of gas stations stuck up. The Citgo gas station at 44th and Lisbon held up at about 9 p.m. by bandit brandishing gun. Made the Citgo gas station jockey, Kenneth Valdez, reach for the sky while the bandit reached into the till for $100 lean green and dissolved out into the night. Then, less than 1 hour later, 4 miles away at 84th and Appleton, Arts & Co gas station stuck up by the same gunslinger who got fistful of loot and again did a disappearing act. But it wasn't long before the long blue arm of the law caught up with that disappearing bandit. A 26-year-old suspect now in custody along with 2 teenage girls as his accomplices, ages 16 and 18, all 3 in police custody. WOKY burnt toast and coffee time. 1 minute before 7 a.m. Right now, Milwaukee, mostly cloudy skies over your city. Relative humidity, 100%. Milwaukee temperature, 61. Fun 11 degrees. This news brought to you by Pennzoil. I am David Haynes, WOKY, Total Information News.
It's 9 a.m. on WOKY, Milwaukee.
In Milwaukee, where all the fun is, you'll find that WOKY has plenty to spare.
Well, that's it. The flashback is over. This is Bob Berry here in the studio 51 years later. Hope you enjoyed the flashback. Also, thanks for listening to the Bob Berry Unearthed interviews and for your words of encouragement and telling me about the memories these podcasts bring back for you. I'm truly humbled by your response. Now, if you enjoy this segment, we'll do more like this at a future date. And a special thanks to all who contributed to this 200th podcast special, including Jack Lee, my friend, WOKY cohort, and former boss. Jack was nice enough to track down Fern Quenby Milrose, the Lady of Charm, over by Ma Grogan's, by the south side where the streetcar bends the corner around, and what fun it was to hear Fern's voice again. Bill Shannon did the announcing. What a voice this guy has. Kipper McGee did the promotion. If you ever need a promotion guy, he's your guy. Also want to thank Kyle Geisler, the Vice President of Wisconsin Broadcast Association, for getting these podcasts out to you on Apple, YouTube, Spotify, all the rest of the channels. And last but not least, Mark David Heleniak. Man, this guy is unbelievable. He restored my old Aircheck, and he wrote, produced, and engineered the special 200th edition of the podcast. If you ever need any help with production, I know a guy. It's Mark David at mixmastermd.com. Until next time, thanks for listening. It was nice having you.
Thank you, Bob. This is Dolly Parton. Was nice being had.
Bob
Berry, you'll have more fun. And here's the reason why. 920 WOKY.